Welcome to another episode in the Podiocast about Podio. Today we are going to do a walkthrough of the main electronics design workspace that we use here in Nordic Lights. This is where Max and Arjen and myself collaborate on milestones and deliverables, and I follow the projects. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of the Nordic Lights electronics development workspace. Okay, so here we are in our home page for the Nordic Lights electronics development workspace. And up here we can see the members that have access to this workspace. From Arjen and Christian and Max, you can always find the members that have access up here. And in every workspace we build up with apps, and the apps you can find up here. And I will go through the apps a little bit more later, but this is of course the key elements of the workspace is the apps. And then around here, this is what we call the home page. So we have here a logo, we have some easy to follow quick views if you want to go in and have a look at the current milestone status for the 850 Home or Pro. All the tasks that needs to be done in this workspace will be located here, and you can just click on this to see all the tasks. And here we have a little calendar so that we can follow what's going on a little bit more easily. But I will now take you guys to a quick walkthrough of the apps in this workspace. So the first app that I want to show you is called Electronics Design. And in this app we follow each electronics design project. This is where all the other milestones and validations links into. You can see here the text, top level item for electronics development projects. So right now you can easily see what kind of projects we have ongoing. There's a view here on the left hand side called ongoing electronics design. If we click here, we can see where this ongoing comes from. We have here a category field. And this category field says ongoing. So this will be shown in the little view called ongoing on the left hand side. That's the electronics design app. Then we have the milestones app. And in this app, we follow the major milestones we are working on. And each milestone will have to link up to the electronics development projects that I just showed you. And this is where Christian follow each milestones using the progress view, as you can see here. We have color codes for the status, and we can once again go to the left side to look at the views, and we follow the home development and the pro development. So right now we're in the home development progress bar. If I click here, I will go to the pro development progress bar. Progress in percent on the right side, and easy to see for the executives, a color code of the status here. This is the milestones app. And then next to that we have an app called payments. This is not a crucial app for our design and development, but this is where we follow each payment we have made to Max since we started Nordic Lights. Then we have PCB design validation and schematic design validation. These two apps are used by Arjen. So the PCB design validation app, this is where we add each new PCB design and validate it by checking all the items described. Any changes after the first design validation will be discussed in this app. So we can see here the different PCBs that has been validated in terms of layout. If we click in on this one, for instance, the main PCB near 850 revision 3.0, this is the validation report. And Arjen will go through here and click after he has checked and done his initial testing. In this case, 2 people validated this board. And from here, from the PCB design validation, it can then migrate over to the product manufacturing package hardware, which I will be getting back to a little bit later. Schematic design validation. This is very similar to the PCB layout design validation. So in this app, we upload the schematic once they are released as a new design with a revision number. So we see here we have a total of 6, if you click up here, 6 validation of schematics. And on the left hand side, we can see that validation history 1 for the home and 5 for the pro. Once again, you can click on this home link here and see only the home validation. This is how Arjen validates the files so that we can move them into product manufacturing package hardware. This is the app that we create a new manufacturing package to be delivered to vendors for sample making. So this is not for mass production. This is for testing out Max's or any other electronic design engineers' revisions. And finally, we have sign-off deliverables. This I will get back to a little bit later. This is for mass production. And here we have test report PCBA. So the test report PCBA is, as you may understand from the name, where we test all the boards that comes in from sample making. We have 2 tests here, and hopefully soon we will have some more. So that was a quick walkthrough of the apps in our workspace. And now I'm going to show you how we make a task to Quintain to start the whole process of revision checking. So let's go back to the home milestones quick view, and I click here. And if I'm now the electronics design engineer and I want to deliver new files for making sample PCBAs. So I will go to the PCB layout milestone. And this is the milestones for layout for the consumer 850. This is on the right hand side. This is the comments and the activity, so we can follow everything that's going on in the PCB layout milestone. And when Max has a new file, in this case added file OUT LED PCB V1 R4. So he took this .zip package and he uploaded it here by selecting choose file. We can find the files that he has uploaded here, and it's easy to see if there has been a replacement. You can always go and see the previous version. As soon as Max puts a file here, he should go and make a task. And making a task is quite easy. You can either press the keyboard T, or you go down here and say create task. Please check my revision XXX and prepare manufacturing package. So this is now the electronics design engineer giving a message to Quintain today. Please check my revision, and of course XXXX should be substituted with the actual revision number of the file you have entered, and create task. So let's look at this one that we have made already before. So we can always communicate here under the task, and when Quintain gets this task, then he has to do some other checking outside of this workspace. So what Quintain will do now that he has received this task here is to go to another workspace called Nordic Light's BOM work. And in here, he will go into the app called Revision Checking New Releases. In the next episode, we will follow the process of creating the revision checking for new releases. So let's go back to the Nordic Lights Electronics Development workspace. Once a design has been validated and verified outside of this workspace, it can be brought back in here to the product manufacturing package. Here we have the app that follows the .zip files that we actually deliver to manufacturers for making samples. Once again, we go to the left side and see production status. 2 in preparation, 2 PO placed, and 3 package received. Let's have a look. I click on the package received. Okay, so these are the revisions that we have sent out and also received back. PO placed, PO means purchase order. So the LED PCBA for 820 and 850 has been placed order. So in preparation right now, we can find the BLE to LED cable and the BLE PCB R4. These two product manufacturing packages are now currently being updated by Quintain and Arjen. So we can click in here and see what they're doing. So here, as soon as our Quintain has done a revision checking, he can come in here and find that in the list. As you can see, there's no R4 revision checking yet. That's what Quintain is doing right now. And then we fill out the form, open the doc, click to make sure that all the files are indeed in the .zip folder. And then this is a workflow. These are automatic tasks that comes to Quintain and Arjen as soon as somebody opens a new item in the product manufacturing package hardware app. So as soon as Arjen is finished validated, there will be a validation by here, and we will have a link into the validation report here. So when we have finished with this, we will have product manufacturing package that we can send to the supplier mentioned in the app. And then we wait. We place the order, and as soon as the PCBAs comes in from the vendor, we have actually a rather large process when it comes to receiving incoming packages prior to CTO's testing, and that will be the subject of another podcast. So here we have the test report that Arjen fills in, or whoever does the checking. Make sure we take good pictures, and once again, it's very easy. We fill out, Arjen will do his testing, add pictures, and here we can discuss if anything has been found. So what you saw here today in the Nordic Lights electronic development workspace is how we keep an overview of revisions, projects, and orders. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to create a task for Christian, and I will answer it in the next Podiocast. Until next time, eat healthy fats. See you soon.